Yes, it is here. The 2021 NFL Draft kicks off tonight. It's going to be the start of a wonderful weekend. The 2021 Draft is going to be an amazing weekend where a lot of young athletes have their dreams come true. And a lot of fan bases will either be ecstatic or absolutely crushed by the decision making their franchise makes this weekend. First round kicks off tonight. Tomorrow will be the second and third round, and Saturday will be the fourth through seventh round, in which by the end of it, we'll know the 2021 draft class of all 32 teams. So it should be exciting. Tonight's gonna be the most exciting night because we all love the first round. So it's gonna be exciting, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be a great night. Can't wait for that to get started. Still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do all this whole situation because every time a special event happens, something wants to interrupt it. You're not gonna ruin this night, man. You're not gonna ruin this night. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to get started. But before that all kicks off tonight, we've got to talk about the Ravens. Ravens flock, what's good with you guys? This is an exciting night for us as well because our team has 2 first-round draft picks, and they can go any way they want with this. There are multiple ways they could go with these 2 first-round draft picks. Now, most of us kind of have a belief in terms, or like at least we kind of have an expectation in terms of what we expect the Ravens to do with these picks, but I'm going to give the basic of basics right now. Let's just make the assumption the Ravens don't make any moves tonight and they decide to utilize both of their first-round picks. They own the 27th overall pick in this first round and the 31st overall pick that they got from Kansas City in the Orlando Brown trade. If they decide to stay put and use both of these first-round picks, what's going to happen? Well, we have 3 specific spots that we need to address in this draft. First, edge rusher. That is something we've been trying to fix for like the last 3-4 years. That's a spot we've been working on for quite some time. Secondly, offensive line. You just gave up your right tackle in Orlando Brown. You have to come and fill that spot up. This is a great draft to do it, so that's definitely something we're going to be looking for. And obviously something we've been dealing with for such a long time and something we continue to deal with, the receiving position. That's right, we're looking to pick up a receiver in this draft, somebody that can come in and make an impact and be an extra weapon for Lamar Jackson to use. We hope we can get that in this draft. There have been a lot of receivers people have talked about the Ravens potentially getting, and we'll just see how it goes. So with 3 needs to be discussed in 2 first-round draft picks, if the Ravens choose to stay put, I believe they will draft an edge rusher and a receiver. And the 2 names I'm looking at in this case is Jaelan Phillips and Rashad Bateman. I believe if they choose to stay put and use their 2 first-round draft picks, they're taking Phillips and they're taking Bateman in the first round, which I don't think most people will be mad at because that will a lot of people love that. We definitely would love to have Phillips on the team. In fact, I think that's the guy they're mostly looking for. And also having Bateman as a receiver, that'd be nice. Now, of course, there's always a possibility Bateman gets picked up early on in that. And if that's the case, I believe Marshall will still be available by then. So I can see them taking Marshall as well, who would also be a great fit for our offense. So either Bateman or Marshall, those are our 2 guys, I'm assuming, if they were to stay put with these 2 first-round draft picks. However, I, like many of you Ravens fans, do not believe the Ravens are going to use their 2 first-round draft picks. They are going to take that 31st overall draft pick and they are going to trade down to get a 2nd-round draft pick and possibly a 3rd or a 4th or something like that. There is no way the Ravens are going to sit here, use 2 first-round draft picks, and then wait all the way into the 3rd round before making the move. This franchise loves to use their 2nd-round draft picks, and you know the Koska loves 2nd-round draft picks. So there's no way I see them just staying put with these 2 first-rounders instead of trading back to get a 2nd and potentially another pick as well. So that 31st overall draft pick, we're not going to utilize. We're trading back out of the 1st round to get a 2nd-round pick and potentially a 3rd or a 4th, something like that. That way, you can get to the 2nd round, you can look for a player and pick there. You'll also have an extra pick in either the 3rd or 4th round, potentially the 5th round, who knows. But yeah, you can probably get a 2nd and a 3rd round because a 1st-round pick is very valuable. So the Ravens are going to be looking to make a lot of moves regarding that 31st overall pick. However, the 27th overall pick, I think they're going to stay put with that. That is who they're going to utilize in draft. And if it comes down to that, I honestly think Phillips is still going to be the guy. Now, of course, Phillips is on a lot of people's mock drafts, a lot of people's tests. This is one of the best edge rushers coming out of this draft, so definitely it's a good possibility he may not even be there at the end of the first round. And if that's the case, well, what do you do? If Bateman's around, do you take Bateman? If Marshall's around, do you take Marshall? I think it's very possible we could see the Ravens draft a receiver in the first round. It's possible. The Ravens don't, they don't really consistently draft receivers in the first round. But it's definitely possible if Bateman's there and if Marshall's there, they can definitely take him as well. So I do see that as a possibility. However, me personally, I'm kind of looking in another direction. We do have that third spot we still got to fill out. It's not just the edge rushing or the receiving core. It's the offensive line we also got to fix up. And that's a crucial part we've got to deal with. So, in my opinion, I believe the main guy is Phillips if he's available at the end of the first round. But if both Bateman and Marshall drop to that low, I think the Ravens are willing to take the chance in hoping that they can get to the second round. Or if they can't get him, it is what it is. My opinion, if Phillips is not there, they will look towards Samuel Cosmi, offensive tackle. I think they're going to get an offensive lineman. If they can't get Phillips, they're going to look towards the offensive line, and I'm thinking Samuel Cosmi is the guy they're going to be looking for. This is the guy that could definitely fill up that position that we lost with Orlando Brown. You could definitely put him there, and I think it'll work out. So that's the guy I'm looking towards. It's either Phillips or it's Cosmi. Those are the only two I see with that 27th overall pick. I do not see the Ravens picking a receiver in this first round. I believe they're going to pick an offensive lineman or they're going to take an edge rusher. Mostly looking towards the edge rusher because if Phillips drops that low, they're taking him. They're not letting him go. They will take him. If not, they'll look towards an offensive lineman. There is a possibility they can pick up a receiver, and I'm not against that. That would be a wonderful surprise. If we come here tonight and the 27th overall pick is used to draft either Rashad or Marshall, I got no problem with that. I will take Bateman and I will take Marshall. I will take either one of those guys, definitely add them to the receiving core, give an extra weapon for Lamar Jackson. I am completely for that. I would be happy. It would be a nice surprise. However, I don't think the Ravens are going to do that. If they can't get Phillips, they'll look for an offensive lineman. And I think Cosmi would definitely be the one guy, he'll probably be there towards the end of the first round. So I could potentially see them getting him. So that would be my guy. And if that's the case, then considering the fact that you'll only have one first round pick, they'll address one need here and address the other need in the second round. Meaning, if they take an edge rusher in the first round, the second round pick will be used for an offensive lineman. If they take an offensive lineman in the first round, the second round they will use to fix up the edge rush. They will pick up an edge rusher. I think that's their first two priorities in this draft. Because there's so much talent in this receiving pool, in this receiving draft. Why did I say receiving? It's both receiving pool and receiving draft. There's a lot of receiving talent in this draft. So I believe with the Ravens, they wouldn't mind picking up a receiver in the third round, which is where I believe they're going to look towards. If they can fix up their offensive line by getting an offensive lineman and help the pass rush by getting an edge rusher within using their first round pick and the second round pick that they could achieve by trading down their 31st overall pick, I think the Ravens are going to do that, and I think they would definitely take that opportunity. They don't mind looking for a receiver in the third round. That's how they've always done things. Now, of course, Ravens flock would definitely want to see them kind of go and get one of these top receivers in the first round, but I don't really see the Ravens doing that much. It's not really how they draft. It's not really what they usually do. Plus, I'm more concerned about the offensive line than I am with the receiving core. Of course, I want the receiving core to be better, and I want Lamar Jackson to have weapons. But again, if you don't have protection, those weapons are useless. I don't care how great your weapons are or how great your quarterback is. If he can't get protection, it means nothing because no one can do their job if the offensive line can't do anything. So yeah, offensive lineman, edge rusher, I think they're going to use their first round pick and potentially a second round pick they get by trading down to acquire that second area that they need to fix. Third round will be addressing the receiver. At that point for the rest of the draft, I think you'll just see a mix. You'll probably get another offensive lineman, another edge rusher. They may potentially pick up a safety in those later rounds because, the Ravens love picking up safeties. And I can see them also picking up a cornerback just because. So, I think that's pretty much how the Ravens draft is going to go. First round, it's going to go down to either an edge rusher or an offensive lineman. I threw out Phillips and I threw out Cosme. I hope that is the case. Either one is fine with me. They will trade that 31st overall pick to somebody in order to get a second round pick and potentially get another pick alongside. Then in the second round, they'll use that to fill up the other side. If they chose to get an edge rusher in the first round, they'll get an offensive lineman in the second round. If they choose to get an offensive lineman in the first round, they'll get an edge rusher in the second round. Then, as we acquire towards the third round, which I believe we do have 2 third-round picks, you may have 3 if you end up trading. Who knows? We get to the third round, then they will address the receiving core and they will pick up a receiver. They'll pick up a receiver, and at that point, the rest of the draft will be dealing with another offensive lineman, another edge rusher, safety, and a cornerback or something like that. And I think after that, it's pretty much it for the Ravens draft. So that's how I see things going for this weekend. But tonight, main focus is going to be either edge rusher or offensive lineman. If they pick up a receiver, I will not be mad. I will be ecstatic. I will be happy because I would love a receiver on this team. But we have more pressing needs with our offensive line and our edge rusher than we do with the receiver core. And of course, we know the rumors going on about the Julio Jones potential trade happening. We're not going to talk about that. That doesn't affect what's going to happen tonight for the most part. Take that out of your mind. So I still believe the Ravens are going to pick up a receiver in this draft. However, it's probably not going to be a receiver everyone's expecting. I don't think it's going to be in the first round. I don't think it's going to be in the second round. I think it's going to be in the third round when they pick up a receiver. They're going to use their first round draft pick to pick up either an offensive lineman or edge rusher. They're going to trade that first round pick to get a second round pick. They'll use that second round pick to fill up the other side that they didn't get, either edge rusher or offensive lineman. And then in the third round, then they'll address the receiving core. Then they'll get another edge rusher, another offensive lineman, potentially a safety, potentially a cornerback, and that'll be the draft for them mostly. So yeah, that's all I got. This is going to be an exciting night. I can't wait to see how this all goes down. This is going to be fun. Hopefully I can get everything set up by tonight. Hopefully my internet doesn't decide to screw me over. I gotta change my plan. I'm planning to do that for fun. I gotta get my internet to win. It keeps screwing up my live streams and it's pissing me off and all this other stuff. So if I can't get the live stream set up, you will be seeing a series of videos coming out, or you may see me pop up for a couple minutes in somebody else's draft, draft night. I don't know. You know, a bunch of Ravens YouTubers are doing it tonight, so I might just holla at one of them and see if I can join up for a couple minutes. You know how it is. I'm always going to be hopping towards different places, giving my take, and then leaving out. But when it comes to the Ravens pick, I'm going to be here by myself doing my thing. So I don't know if it's going to be live when I do it, or if I'm just going to make a video. Either or is going to be nice. But anyway, I'm excited for tonight. I can't wait to see what happens. It's day one. It's the first round. It's the 2021 NFL Draft, and I can't wait to see how it's going to go down. With that being said, that is all I got, and I'm out of here, man.